Here's the thing that was one of the most important lessons that was taught to me by someone who taught me to meditate. And that was to learn what my boundaries were. And honestly, I hadn't a clue when they talked about boundaries. And literally, she took a stick figure and she grew boundaries around it. And when I embraced my boundaries, no, I could never be offended again by what was anybody was doing, because I would have to look and say, oh, then did I let them into my boundaries? Then I could exit them out. Mm-hmm. And it made all the difference in the world. So therefore, when you went to work someplace and someone tried to push something on you that was not going to work for you, just say, you know, that's not going to work for me.
Yes.
And it made all the difference in the world.
And there's no guilt.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely awesome.
It's very freeing, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
It's terrific.
And it's not selfish.
Yeah.
And you're not selflessly trapped into the
No, you just say, no, that doesn't work for me.
Because I didn't have boundaries either. We'd find out if we transgressed when we got disciplined for transgressing. Well, but if you don't know what the boundaries are, there's a story about the cat and how the cat will not sit on a hot griddle. Uh-huh. Once it's had that experience, it will also not sit on a cold one either. It has just learned that griddle is not a place it wants to be, but we can differentiate, and we're so lucky.
So let's take this a step further. Once we found our passion, and once we found our story, then we can utilize someone like Galia to develop it. So how would you do that?
Great question. Marilyn, spoken like a charm. We start really with the why the people are doing what they're doing. The why is crucial, because if you're really not at peace with why you're doing what you're doing, it is difficult to have a vision that is going to take you, and this is very difficult for people. Having a vision is understanding where you want to be in the next 5 years, crystal clear vision, and an unshakable belief in your goals. The why that actually triggers the vision and the unshakable belief in your goal, these are like critical, and they're learnable. Yeah. If you don't have that, it is very difficult to move to the next steps. The next steps are really your flight plan toward destination, like we say it, that we have a special program called Flight Plan by Brian Tracy International. And this is really the sort of the roadmap for every business owner, whether they're a startup or they've been in business for 20 years, in terms of from how do you achieve your goal, how do you go through your flight plan to your destination, whatever your destination it is. Is it an island where you want to be? Is it really an empire of franchise business, a global business? Whatever it is, it needs to start with the root, which is the why, a crystal vision, and an unshakable belief in the achievement of your goals. Once you have that, you're not thinking about how to pay the bills the next month. You're really going to do everything that you need to do to work toward that vision, because you know there is no such thing as a happy pill, right? Nothing is really is achieved by giving you a happy pill and then you're going to see the hoopala, basically hoopala effect the next day. It all goes with habit change and actually active listening, the receptiveness to learning, which is crucial, and really the willingness and the commitment to achieve the goal. Once you start on that journey, you are accountable. You're accountable for your destiny. You can utilize a mentor, a coach, a support system, but it's all about you.
Isn't that what Wanda said with her story about adopting and accepting the responsibility? That's what gave her...
taking accountability, and with the moment you make a decision, it's unshakable. You can move mountains, literally. A lot of people, they actually move to becoming multi-billionaires, and then most of them, they start from scratch. And referring to that cat story, Marilyn, that you talked to, it is so interesting because it reminds me of a story of an elephant with a circus, right? It is, an elephant, and this is to give you sort of the scoop that everything is learnable, and you can actually really do some shifting in the way you're doing certain strategies in your business through specific learning to actually moderate yourself to achieve things in a certain way by habit shifting. The story of the elephant in the circus, the elephant basically is trained that when they're sort of, they put them with the rope.
They tether them, yes.
But when they put them in a rope, when they're young, baby, they actually, psychologically, they think that, they can't run away. But when they become tons in terms of weight, they still are, they're attached with a tiny rope. They can run away anytime they want to, but they never do. So now we have sort of adapted this change on the elephants to make them achieve a change that is not basically, it's not logical, right? So this
the elephant believes it cannot.
The elephant believes that it cannot. But this, in terms of habit changing, anything is possible. If you think you can do it, you're right, and if you think you cannot do it, you're also right.
One of my favorite quotes, it's on my fridge actually, it says, "The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary."
Exactly.
Beautiful. And that segues into a lot of the work that I do as a psychologist, is helping people understand what are their underlying life themes, what are their underlying written rules that they live by, how they interpret the world and respond to it, that either allow them to open up and go forth or to keep them bound within those ropes, like the elephant.